10-minute workout, but before we do that, we're going into the warm-up, which is getting recorded this morning to make sure you're doing it properly. So, full press-up position, get the feet just outside or shoulder width apart, and then I want you to lift the hips up, drive through the hands until you're pushing those heels towards the floor here. Now, the point is, you're trying to, first of all, feel the stretch running up the calves, ankles, starting to hit the hamstrings, pushing those hips back until you start to feel the glutes getting a stretch out. Once you've got the stretch on the legs, I want you to focus on the upper body. How do we do that? Get the hands, put them a bit closer together, and push them into the ground. And this is where if you're on a slidey bit of flooring, like a laminate flooring, it's not going to work. Okay, so I would suggest that you put your feet up against the skirting board and have something in front of you if you're able to. Otherwise, you're just pinning and holding a position without actually being able to get a decent stretch. Then we're going to bring the feet together, and I want you to push the spine up through the back as you then drop the hips down, okay, and then reset into your position if you need to, but we're going to be pushing the hips through the body. So it's not a matter of collapsing the hips down and feeling all that horrible stress on the lower back. I want you to push the hips up through and point the nose towards the sky so that we're getting that nice big stretch. Yep. And your nose should be the highest point. I want you to relax. Good, and then we're going to bring these feet slowly wider, bring it back up, and this time we're going a wee bit further, so really want you to get into that position now. Your position, my position, and everybody else's position is going to look different depending on your mobility and your flexibility. So what I would suggest you add is side twists of the torso, so keep the core stretched there, but I want you to twist the torso, and in doing so, you're going to enhance that stretch in those back muscles, then push them through. So if they're feeling tight, it's a good way to get rid of them. And then I'm going to drop down one more. Again, good stretch this one. And if there's one stretch you're going to do, when you crawl out of bed first thing in the morning, you're feeling sore and stiff, and you're hobbling around, yep, this is the one to do if you're short on time. Get a lot of muscle groups going here. Good. And then we're coming back up. Right, I want you to walk the hands towards the feet while keeping the legs straight, and I want you to take your time. When you hit the sticking point, rather than just stand up, don't give into it. I want you to slowly work through, feel that stretch, take it in as far as you can, and then release there, okay? So most people just stand up when they feel the sticking point. We want you to work through it. So next up, we're going to grab a holder where your laces are tied. It's better if you've got something to hold on to for a bit of balance. And all I want you to do, grab the laces, pull the knees together, okay? And then all I want you to do is, keeping the knees pulled together, push through the hips, and you'll feel that stretch running up the front of the thighs, okay, up the quads. Push through, and then release, okay? So it's dynamic stretching and a very short range of movement for these quads. Push through, and each time you push through, you're trying to get a wee bit further. So if your quads, hip flexors are feeling pretty tight, now's your chance to iron them out. Knees together, push the hips through, off and on in your own time, but make sure you're getting a good squeeze, and we're going to change there, okay? Get those quads stretched out. So hold the laces where they're tied, bring the knees together. This is where you'll see how tight you are, okay? Because you'll feel a big angle in your hips that you're trying to push through, and then relax. Push through, and I'm going to go side on. What I don't want you to do with your upper body is lean back, okay? Because if it is tight, we don't want this lower back starting to look like what mine is now. See that there? That's no good, okay? We don't want this, we want to push through, and that's why we're squeezing the butt. Squeezing the butt to bring that pelvis back underneath the body and keep that lower back in the right position, rather than putting all that stress on. Good, that's us, simple. Right, okay, knees together, feet together, and before we go into our big spinal mobilization movement we always do, I want you to get your hands on your knees, and we're just going to slowly start with some little push forwards and back, okay? Now the point is, don't let your heels come off the floor. So if stop laughing at me. So if you're feeling, oh, here we go, hey, losing my mojo. So all I want you to do here is push forwards with the knees until you feel a stretch on the ankles. You might not feel a stretch in the ankles. That's not the purpose here. We're trying to grease the knees, okay? Grease the knees. And then when you're ready and you feel that starting to flow without the crack, snap, pop going on, I want you just to simply add that figure of 8, side to side as you're going up and down. Okay, fantastic. I tell you what, there we are now. Right. Okay, so we're good to go. same setup position, shake out if you like. Same setup position, okay, feet together, knees together, squeeze the butt, bring the chest up proud, and get the chin up. Shoulder blades pulled together. This is your perfect posture, okay? I want you to start this one by tucking the chin in. Feel that stretch running up the back of the neck into the upper back, and then I want you to collapse the chest, and then imagine you're trying to push the spine through, and then collapse some more, push the spine up through the back. So what we're trying to do here is roll the spine up tight, compress it all into a nice big ball, and as a result, you're going to feel the stretch start from your neck into your upper back, into your mid back, lower back, finally into the glutes, hamstrings, and possibly even feel it on the calves. And I want you to release, but when you release, come back up the same way you went, okay? So it's not a toe touch. I'm not trying to touch the floor. I'm trying to roll myself up as tight as I can, and that's why we do it in sections, okay? We don't just go, hoo. So let's go for it. Tuck the chin in. We're going to do one more. Tuck the chin in. Feel that stretch. Concentrate on the stretch. Then collapse the upper part of your chest. Push the spine up through, and as a result, you'll feel those upper back muscles getting stretched apart. And then just keep that going, okay? Each little time you move, just try and tighten up a little bit. And we have to have that chin tucked in nice and tight. So that's the key point. As you go, make sure you've always got the chin tucked in until eventually it's almost like you're trying to look back up towards the ceiling through your own body. Take it as far as you can. Stretch out the legs, straighten out the legs, should I say. Tuck the chin in some more, pull yourself in, and then release there. Fantastic, good, and hopefully that's a good one for your lower back and everything round about it. So, feet hip to shoulder width apart. That's down to you. We're going to be squatting, but we're going to be using the squats as a stretch. So, drive the toes into the ground, and I want you not to give in. So if things are feeling tight, a lot of people straight away go, oh, and then they either step wider or they point the toes out more, okay, to try and combat that tightness. So I want you to get a good solid setup. Pull the knees apart, descend into your squat, push the hips back as a whole. Keep the chest proud, and when you feel something kick in, and for most people it's the groin, so elbows into knees. Yes, I repeat myself every time we do the warm-up, but it's required. Elbows into knees, force the chest up. Don't give in to poor form, as in don't just sit down like this thinking that's acceptable, because it's not acceptable. Get up to it, chest up proud. What are you on about? What? What? I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. Right, there we go. So what you can see me doing now is if you're able to descend into a deep enough squat, you're able to get into the ankles. But when you're doing this, you're still sitting back. Okay, we don't want to fall forward and put all that stress on the knee. We want to feel like you're almost trying to sit your butt down onto your heel. And you can see a couple of bounces. If they're feeling pretty tight, it'll help just get the stretch on. Okay, and just like anything, it's a nice dynamic stretch. So we're off and on, trying to take it as far as we can, and then release, rise out of that. We're going to do one more. Okay, so shake out, and this time, if you've done a decent enough stretch, you should feel like you're getting down there a bit easier. Okay, so don't give into it. If things are feeling tight, stretch it out, because we need it. We need that mobility this morning, because we're about to exercise. It's a 10-minute workout. Oof. So this is just a slow, dynamic stretching, bit of static stretching in there if you want to make it technical. But we're trying to unlock the mobility that we've already got. Okay, so if you're feeling a bit stiff and sore this morning, that's why we do this. So swings, side swings, and toe touches. Let's go for it. Holding on to something for an anchor point so you don't have to worry about balance and we can focus. Keep the pelvis facing forwards, okay? That's a big one. Don't start letting that pelvis swing around. Your body, your pelvis is always facing forwards. Trying to relax the leg, but keep it nice and straight. Take it as high as you can each time. So you're trying to take it higher and further back each swing until it starts to feel like it's flowing freely. And then change. Nice, relaxed swing. Good. So even though it's a 10-minute workout, still getting a good warm-up in. More so than any other, to be fair, because we go straight into it and straight at it. So it's across the body swings here. Try not to dod the ground, otherwise you'll jar your knee. But again, you're trying to take it as high as you can and across the body as far as you can. Excuse me. Good. And then more toe touches, or ground taps if you like. We do this don't do it by collapsing forwards, okay? So a lot of people, they just collapse, they try to touch the ground. I want you to forget about touching the ground. I want you to keep this nice, good form, good posture. Push your hips back while keeping the chest proud, as in don't let your chest collapse. So when you do that hip hinge movement, you're aiming to touch the ground by keeping that form, okay? If you can't quite, that's fine, but it's better that than breaking form, okay? So aim to get the first part of the stretch, hit like so, and then break form to reach behind you. And what that'll do is help just bring the lower back into it as well. And when you come up, squeeze the butt hard rather than have those soft hips falling forwards. Squeeze the butt and feel that lockout, feel that hip snap. Good. Good, right. Shake yourself, shake yourselves. We're gonna get jogging on the spot, nice and light in the balls of the feet, and I want you to focus on your breathing. So I want big breath, so it's gonna be those kind of big breaths. 3 of them, while trying to make your shoulder girdle feel nice and heavy. This helps waking you up. But also gets those lungs firing properly. Because you don't breathe to full capacity with lungs when we're breathing normally. Shallow breathing when you're sitting about. So we're trying to get all that old crap out and get some fresh new crap in, right? Arms across the chest. Let's go for it. So we're keeping these shoulder blades pinned together. Feeling that stretch across the chest. And my hands, change the position of your hands. Try different ways. Palms back, palms forwards, palms up. And feel how that varies, I suppose. How that changes, how it feels. So I'm gonna get the same again, shoulder blades pulled together, arms by the side. I'm gonna bring my arms up and push my body through. So arms up and push through. Don't lean back and don't bend the arms, okay? So we don't want this nice straight arms and push through. Focusing on your breathing. And we should be slowly creeping the heart rate up if you're feeling pretty relaxed. Get the feet moving properly because we're trying to get the heart rate up a wee bit. Arms to the side, chest pulled, not chest pulled, shoulder blades pulled together. Boom. There we are. So you're pulling those shoulder blades together to try to stabilize your shoulder girdle and stop that happening, okay? That's why we're pulling it together. So straight away, if you do that and things are tight, you'll feel it. Finally, nice little punches forwards, flick of the fingers, nice relaxed arms, feeling nice and heavy. Focus on your breathing. Good. And up towards the sky. So I included the warm-up in the recording this morning because it's important. We do a proper warm-up. And I know for a fact a lot of people will be loading up the workouts and just giving it a few old and a bit of this. That classic one you always see. People always do this before they go running. Arm across the body, yeah, what the hell? Right, okay, so anyway, shoulder shrugs up and forwards, nice and fast, nice and dynamic. Pull it all the way up and back. We're nearly there. So you can apply this warm-up to anything, okay? This is a universal one, I use it. And the reason it's always the same is so that it becomes well drilled in your head. Okay, yes, we add things now and again. Tuck the chin in and go for your nice neck rotations. Loosen off that neck. Get those trapezius, those big upper trap muscles. Get them loosened off if you're feeling tight. 2 big rotations. I want you to take your time. Don't rush it. So you can apply this warm-up to anything before you do anything. And I'm not just saying it. I'll do it whether I'm about to lift weights, whether I'm about to do a circuit, whether I'm about to go running. It's the same one, okay? Because it hits everything. It makes me feel ready for it, okay? Right, that's it, warm up done. Let's start the workout. Right, we're ready, 30 seconds, we're away. No, we're not, I'm tying my shoelace, but we are away. Right, come on up on your feet, what we're sitting about, looking sorry for ourselves for. Get up, it's a 10-minute workout. Right, the first exercise is high knees. Why? Because I like putting that in. It gets you warm, it gets you in the zone pretty quickly. 60 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, okay? It's not even rest, it's enough time to contemplate the next exercise and then boom, we're away. So high knees in 5 seconds. High knees, well, nice and light. I want you to try and hit the toes on the ground, keeping the ball of the foot, let's go. 10-minute workout. let's get the brain and the mindset of it, okay? What is the 10-minute workout? It's hard. First minute's hard, okay? Never mind the 10 of it. But all I do is focus on this minute. Focus on each minute of the 10 minutes. Don't focus on the 10 minutes. Put your all in. This is not the low intensity workout. This is not meant to be easy. I don't care whether you don't quite feel like it this morning. That's a choice, okay, in your brain, so let's go for it. Push it hard, especially if you don't feel like it. And high knees, getting these knees up. As you can hear, heart rate's climbing. Good exercise, I like this one for starting a 10-minute workout. 8 exercises this morning. So technically, it's only 8 minutes work. Relax, 15 seconds. Next exercise is our lateral burpee. We do a burpee. 1, 2, 3, burpee. If you don't have the space, I want you to do a burpee and jump, okay? If you don't have the space. 3, 2, 1. We do a burpee. We're up. 1, 2, 3. If you can only fit 2 in, as in 2 side steps, that's better than nothing. But if you have absolutely no space, all I want you to do is big jump, burpee, big jump to the side, burpee, okay? Everybody else with space, do what I'm doing. And on these side steps, look at my body position. It's always facing you on the camera. I don't want you to do a side shuffle like this. Okay, nice and light on the toes. Remember, you will be struggling to breathe. The work capacity that you're putting in, you cannot get enough oxygen for it. That's why we fatigue fast. That's why things start to burn. Understand that. Know what's happening. And get on with it. Lie down, stand-up's next. No jump, I just want you to lie down and stand up. But don't take it easy, go. Stood up in 3 seconds flat. It's not an excuse for you to stop and lie down and pause. I'll take all day getting up. Let's be fast. Lie down flat, stand up tall. A brute of an exercise when you do it properly. Remember, give it your all. Put your all into this and work hard. It's easy. It's all in your head. Good, come on, 3 seconds. One more rep. Rest. Right, next exercise is a burpee with a plank jack at the bottom, okay? So all I'm doing is my burpee out, in, out and in, and then jump. Don't forget the jump. Come on. So this morning, exercises are very dynamic. Struggle. You know by now, 10-minute workout, it's one in the head. This body can absolutely be pushed to the max, but it's your head that must do that. Feels tough, muscles are burning, you're struggling to breathe. You've got a choice. Give in, take it easy, or push it hard and get better. That is your choice, and I cannot make that choice for you. Quality reps, please. You should feel the core, working big style. Nearly there. 3 seconds. Good. Told you it was going to be a tough one this morning. We're halfway already. Next exercise is a jumping jack, jump squat, burpee. Work with me. It's a jumping jack, jump squat, burpee. Separate them. Jumping jack, whoa, jump squat. Don't copy me. Burpee, jumping jack. A quad burner. Don't forget the jump. Separate the three of them. Make sure your squats are perfect. Don't use the exercise because there's a lot going on as an excuse for bad form, bad technique. 15 seconds. This truly is the one more rep mentality. You want to stop. You really want to stop, but you don't. Relax. Next exercise. It's an inchworm with a double press up at the bottom. Can be done fuller on the knees. Okay, it's a normal inchworm press up, but with two of them. Go. We walk out. 2 strict press ups. We walk in. Stand up tall. Straight in. Press ups can be done on the knees. Make sure you're keeping the core tight. Do not let those hips sag. Oh. One more rep, always. You get to the end. You get to the end of each minute, and you tell yourself, yep, couldn't have possibly have squeezed another rep in. Done. Next exercise. It's a broad jump with a lie down stand up. Okay? Big jump forward, perform a lie down stand up, turn around and do the same. Broad jump first, okay? So, broad jump, lie down, stand up, turn around. Broad jump. I want you to really try and jump as far as you can on this one. Well, this is not pretty. Push it hard, everyone. If you're struggling, realise that you're meant to be on this workout. That's why we get away with working out for 10 minutes instead of 30. Oh my word, these minutes are long. Right, last exercise. It's a burpee with a tuck jump and a squat. It's not meant to be easy, tell yourself that, come on. So it's a burpee with a tuck jump and a squat. Same again. Burpee, tuck jump, perfect squat. Power through it. If you're struggling to breathe, realise that you're meant to be. But you can still rep it out, even if you can't breathe. Walk around. I don't really have any spare words for you yet. Walk around, do not lie down. So if you're like me right now, you're struggling to breathe, so remember, get a grip of it quick. Big breath. 2 big breaths out to the 1 big breath in. Very quickly. Very quickly you'll recover. As opposed to lying about, hyperventilating. Okay, so please keep walking around, shake out. And this is where you know to yourself, now that the pain's over, the hardship's done, did I give that my all? Yes, I did. Absolutely did. Okay, or, well, I probably did hold back. Okay, only you know the answer to that question, but you'll know the answer pretty instantaneously when that final buzzer goes. Okay, so for a cool down, get your heart rate back down. Don't go about your normal day until you feel normal again. Okay, and that might take some time depending on your fitness level. I'm not a big fan of doing stretches and all that stuff after a workout. Your muscles are already warm, okay? Our muscles are already warm and moving. Plus, most of us don't have the luxury of time. So for me, cool down, I don't go about my day until I feel that I'm some form of normal again. Usually heart rate, biggest one. So don't go and sit on the couch if you're... So, we're done. Thank you very much. That was a classic 10-minute, but a bit more like the 10-minute workouts we've maybe not been getting recently. That was more like it. Big, dynamic, complex exercises, working you through different movement patterns, different exercises joined together that are very dynamic, very explosive and demand a lot of oxygen. Oxygen that our body is not getting. That's why you need to understand what's happening. A lot of people enter that state, and I think once you've got an understanding of what's happening, realizing that it's normal, your body's going to start getting fatigued. It's not getting oxygen anymore, so it's not using oxygen to create energy, okay? We're starting to get lactic acid building up. We're starting to feel fatigue. Muscles are on fire. That's all normal, okay? That's all very normal. Keep pushing through it. You'll be surprised just how far that body can go. But it starts up here. Thank you. Have a good day. Whew.